Time shot, it's time shot. I'm in the place where my friends are, and I know together we'll go far. Yeah, time shot, it's time shot. And I'm still doing things the time shot way.
Hello, people. It's Poet. And I'm back on TimeShot. Now, today would probably be one of those days where I would go and do my comment jam and go through all the TimeShot episodes, find some of the most interesting and intriguing comments that I want to reply to, and do that. But instead, today I felt like there was another topic that I wanted to talk about first. And so, no, we're not there at the comment jam yet. We are going to talk about something else, and then maybe the next episode, or maybe the next one. It depends. It really depends. I'm not going to put a set date on these comment jam things, because that always leads to pressure, which leads to me not wanting to do it, and then they just won't be done. Like you saw in, like, Better Than Wolves, okay? So, for those of you who have been following since 2012, watched Better Than Wolves series, watched my Q&A Fridays, or, you know, Q&A time, or the ones who watched the Lion King mod, which is, as we talked about several episodes ago, no longer on the channel for trademark reasons. I also did a Q&A time on that one, but we limited it to every 2 weeks or so, and it still got so tedious, frustrating, you know, just, I didn't want that pressure, so I stopped doing it. It became one of those things where every time I had to do it, I would kind of cringe and say, like, oh no, I have to go through, like, I just wanted to sit down and record, like, I just wanted to have fun. I wanted to sit down, record, have good content, and I couldn't, because then I was in that recording mood. You know, you get into these recording moods when you're a YouTuber. You sit down and you think, oh man, I'm so motivated, I gotta record this, I gotta record this, I gotta record this, and you sit down and then realize, oh no, wait, I have to go through over 100 comments and find them, write them down, and then, you know, reply to them in the video. Ugh, can't stand that. So what I'm trying to get at is that I'm not putting a set date on doing these comment jams. I'm not saying that they're frustrating. They are so much easier and more rewarding and just generally better than a Q&A, in my opinion. But essentially, I'm not going to put a date on them. I'm just going to do them as I feel it's necessary to do them. Either once I have a bunch of TimeShot videos that have been released where I talked about something that I wanted to talk about, or just when I have nothing better to do, I guess. But anyway, like I was saying, today is not that day. Today is not the day to go through the comments and read the ones that I want to read, but instead talk about something else, and that comes on the heels of the U.S. election, and I know it's a touchy subject, and I'm not going to be talking about the election itself or the results itself. Well, maybe to some small part, but, you know, we already had our political talk, and I asked people to stay neutral, and surprisingly, this is the most surprising thing. Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. You guys, this community, especially on TimeShot, I find, more so than any other internet community that I've seen, just really, really positive. And, you know, if I asked people, you know, stay neutral, don't, you know, if you're pro-Trump, pro-Clinton, pro-Stein, pro-whatever, you know, don't mention it, don't really talk about that, you know, don't be one-sided. And you guys were, like, you behaved. It was amazing. I was very shocked, actually, that it became that neutral. But it was, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for doing that. Here we go. So anyway, the topic I wanted to talk about today is sort of on the heels of that, in dealing with defeat is what I want to talk about. Because it seems like, well, and in some small way, well, in some big way actually, but not just with defeat, but even dealing with a victory, you know, it's when people win, it's very, very, very easy to jump up and start screaming, "We are the champions," you know, like just going on and gloating about it, and, you know, feeling like you're on top of the world. And so you should be if you've won in anything. You've got the bragging rights, you know. You fought and you won, and you therefore have the right to be happy about that victory. Oh man, I really should have slept to get rid of this rain and this everything else. Oh, I don't have any. I'm very underprepared now. After our dragon fight, oh no, this guy is beating me. Ouch! Woo! No. No. Don't you blow up my quartz. No! This is so horrible. I'm trying to have a talk here. Why is he killing me? I'm hitting the buttons. I'm lagging, that's why. Holy crap, I forgot I'm uploading. Oh, that's why everything in the world is bad. Okay. I was actually considering something. Now, I've seen people like my friend Kurt J. Mack there, and what he does when he does his flob videos, if you haven't seen them, you can check them out. He has a whole series where he just walks in one direction, and as such, you know, people might say, oh, that's not very interesting, but he makes it interesting because what he does is basically talk like we do here. He talks and about different subjects and topics and releases them, and then he goes ahead, and this is what I really enjoy, is that he releases them as a podcast. Like, he actually uploads the audio as a podcast, but you can hear all the game sounds and stuff during that podcast. And I was wondering if I should do the same, and if I did, would I turn off the game sounds? But then moments of panic like you just saw would be very, very, very interesting, I think. Anyway, where were we? I was talking about being gracious in victory and being gracious in defeat. So those are basically the two things I wanted to talk about today. Here's the thing. Nothing's changed. You know, it's... I kind of alluded to this when we talked about our whole political talk. And I don't want this to completely surround politics. It's a touchy subject. I don't want to really go there. But, you know, I think that for the most part... What am I going to do here? I almost feel like this needs to... Huh? What do I need to do here? Do I need to actually, like, go in by, like, 1, 2, and then just go like this? Do I need to do this? 1, 2, 3. Like that. See, this is why when I'm thinking about doing a podcast, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just remove the Minecraft sound so that people who watch it, you know, aren't limited to hearing, you know, digging and all that kind of stuff. But the problem is that there are a lot of times where I'll focus on the gameplay and then, nothing. It would just be weird. But anyway. I don't want to surround politics, but since that's the topic that it's on everybody's mind, everybody who is anybody is talking about it, you got to kind of put it out there and make note of it. But over the last few weeks, for sure, and over certainly the last few days, I've seen people have two different mentalities where, some people are extraordinarily nice to each other, kind to each other. They take it as an opportunity to grow themselves and who they are rather than, take the opportunity to either demean or berate someone or, feel bad about themselves. So there's two sides to it. One side is really being quite rude and cruel about it. The other side is being quite gracious about it. And I wanted to think about that for a while because there are a lot of times, and I've admitted it often, where if I'm in like the heat of things, especially when it's like a passionate video game, like any kind of competitive PvP, not just in Minecraft, but in anything. Like you guys don't know this, but I used to play Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty. What am I saying? Counter-Strike. I mean, I used to play Call of Duty as well, the originals, but not the new ones, competitive. Anyway, I used to play Counter-Strike, and there were a lot of times where I was extraordinarily competitive with it. I could have easily been, a pro Counter-Strike player even today had I continued playing it the way that I was. I was league ranked in the top, and it was something that I was quite proud of, and I was very passionate about it. And when I would play, if I lost, especially if I lost to someone that I thought, for one reason or another, if I thought that they weren't maybe, as good as I was for some reason, or they hadn't invested the time that I had, like that's really, for me personally, one of the biggest things is if I see someone who effortlessly, I'm admitting something that, it's very personal to me, and something that I struggle with, something that I work with, is that if I see, like, I feel like I work hard to get what I get and do what I do. I see views on videos going down, and I see, my level of work put into videos going up, and I'm not seeing returns, and it can get frustrating, that kind of thing. And then I see people who are, in my opinion, not putting in the effort that I am, and they're getting huge results and huge returns. That is one of those frustrating things to me. In the competitive gaming side, really, I feel like if the same thing, if I invest a lot of time, say 40 hours a week, which is enough. That's a lot. 40 hours a week in just playing Counter-Strike, okay? And I'm working hard to be the best. And if you don't know, I'm going to take us aside right now. In the middle of that thought, I'm just walking around right now looking for a place that I can put my railway. I'm looking for a place that I can put it. It's going to be a fairly big structure on the outside, the train station. And so I'm kind of just looking for a decent place for it. I'm actually maybe down there. But I don't want to, like, get off the train and then have to walk for a mile to get to my base. So those are the thoughts that are also going through my mind as I'm talking about this. But anyway, when I'm playing a game like Counter-Strike or something like that, and I've invested a ton of time to being the best, you know, or say like I'm playing some professional sport, you know, I'm a pro basketball player, or hockey player, or football player, whatever. And I'm investing a ton of time into that, and then someone who's just like naturally gifted comes along, or has a stroke of luck comes along, or, you know, is just, you know, they are naturally good at it. And they don't require as much learning and training and work. And they are successful at that. I get frustrated by that. And I don't really know why. Maybe down here. This would be a good spot. I don't know why I get mad about that. I get frustrated with that. Angry with that. You know, all those negative emotions. But it hits me. It hits me very hard when things like that happen. And I've often been known to lash out at people and be like, you know, you call them a noob, you call them all kinds of names. Okay, let me think here. I can make it in the desert. Let's go to the other side. Yeah, you can call them all the names you want. You can get frustrated with them. You know, try to call them out for not being very good. And so on and so forth. And that's not very gracious. That's not a good loser. You're not being a good sport. And it's something that I struggle with a lot. So I see people, and I have seen people for a long time now. Oh, maybe right up here. Oh, this would be kind of cool with the water and everything. I've seen people for a few weeks now, and certainly in a few days now, basically bragging, boasting, and doing things that aren't very gracious in a winning point of view. But then there are also people who haven't been very gracious losers either. I need tools, honestly. I'm gonna flatten out this area here, and this is gonna be my train station right here. Alright. I think I might actually head out to the end and see about maybe getting some ender pearls, shooting into the end. And I know that Tort was exploring around. He was looking for end cities, elytra, and that kind of thing. I'm just kind of curious about the armor and stuff that you can get in the end, because I lost all of my items and tools when I went into the end to fight the dragon with everybody. And so it would be nice to hop in there and get a nice Fortune 3 pick or some Protection 4 armor and stuff. I got the armor, but, you know, I could probably set up a trade with someone. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe that's what I'll do. Which means that I gotta put away all this stuff that I just got. There. And like that. So, on the topic of just basically being rude to each other, I mean, that's something that we have to try to be better with in all situations, you know, whether it's politics, you know, but it's anything that we're passionate about, because politics are obviously something that we're really passionate about. We have family invested in it. We have loved ones and you know, friends and so on, all very invested in a certain way of thinking, in a certain set of ideals, and it's a very personal victory or a very personal loss. And the same thing can be said about anything that you invest a ton of time and thought into. If I'm really, really invested in, let's just pull out a random subject like mathematics, okay? If I'm really invested in something and I just can't solve a problem, I get discouraged, I get frustrated, I get upset with it. It's just human emotions, it's normal. We got to keep those kinds of things in check. So, like I said, I have seen a lot of people who are very gracious losers, in that when something doesn't go their way, they are the first ones to say, you know what, this is a learning experience, time to pick up the pieces, build from... Well, where am I? What did I just do? I got to build from this loss and try for next time, look forward to the next time, look ahead. And those are the kinds of people that I really respect, because I myself struggle with that kind of stuff. Wait, is this the right way? Where am I going? I'm going the wrong way. This is not the right way. There is no train station going to where I'm going. I need to go to the end. My brain was completely not... It was on the subject and not in what I was doing. But, yeah, that's something that I think we all have to work on. I really respect the people out there who have the ability to go out of their way and say, like, you know what? I lost, but congratulations to you. You really deserve it. And I've always respected people like that so much and wished that I could, like, even a little bit of that would rub off on me. I know that, like, going back to the video game thing, when I was being competitive in esports and stuff, and it's like, I would see people who would lose. I would beat them, or someone else would beat them, and it would be this, like, clearly really scrubby way of winning, or, like, just a really, like, it wasn't a good win, and the other person who really deserved it lost, and I was sitting there thinking, oh man, that's not fair, like, that sucks, and if I put myself in their shoes, I'd be irate, I'd be upset, I'd be frustrated, I'd be calling them all kinds of names, I'd be like, lashing out. And then I see the person who lost instead go and say, like, wow, you're really good, congratulations, and GG and things like that. And it's just, I actually would, like, stop my thinking at that point and be like, whoa, like, this guy is really humble. Like, this is a game that matters. This is a game that, if it's for ranking, it really matters. Like, this guy's trained for this. He's worked for this. He just lost. And instead of being upset, he's actually congratulating the guy. Like, that's something pretty important. That's something very special. For me, I struggle with that. And I know that other people clearly struggle with that too. So going back, touching upon the politics again, like I said, I see a lot of people who, from the very beginning, were lashing out at others. But here's my point, is that I think people have a right in some small way to complain. They have a right to have an opinion that is different than your own. And just like people have the right to be irate and mad and upset and all that kind of stuff, if that's how they feel and how they want to portray themselves. It's not very respectful, but people have the right to do it. I think that if you see someone saying, well, I don't really like the results of this election, okay, you don't have to go out of your way to say, well, you're a big loser then, And I've seen comments like that. And it's just like, you know, just because someone won an event doesn't give you, you know, the exclusive ability to call other people losers and berate them and be just a terrible person in general. That doesn't sit well with me. But on that same note, I mean, it goes both ways, where you can't really call people names and call people idiots and losers and things like that because they voted a certain way and because they won. Like, that's, you can't just be nice people to each other, you know? So that's kind of what I was trying to get at. This whole thing is kind of ridiculous. It's kind of crazy. If we were to take a moment and just be kind to one another. What is all this? Oh, this is amazing. This is cool. I don't know how to screenshot this to make it look cool, but you know what? It looks cool. Okay, I'm jumping in. We're going in. Just gonna do that. Okay. Yeah, we got... I forgot all about this food. This food source. Okay, I need some ender pearls, unless there are some at that portal. I'm gonna go check it. But yeah, I think that the best people out there, the ones who I respect the most, the ones who I aspire to be like the most, are the ones who did go out of their way to say congratulations to the victor, whether they voted for them or not. And the ones who were saying things like, you know, I have faith in humanity that we will come together and do the right thing and learn from this experience and grow from this experience. The ones I don't really have respect for are the ones who didn't vote and then are complaining. So, you know, and this is a personal thing, because there were a lot of times in my life where I thought, you know what, voting is useless. It's meaningless. There's no reason for it. There's no reason to vote. Nothing will come of it. What's the point in it? But my mother used to always say, you know, if you don't vote, you can't complain. You know, if you don't vote, then you really can't have an opinion about, you know, bad policies or, you know, the person in general. That's on you. If you don't go out of your way and at least voice your opinion, then you can't have an opposing opinion. And that was always her mentality. And I always really kind of took that to heart. So I see a lot of people in the last few days. I've actually seen them on the news. This one guy was interviewed. He was, I don't remember where, Boston, I think, maybe. And he was at a protest, and he was like burning a Trump piñata, and you know, that's his prerogative, okay? He wants to show his protest, that's fine. Everybody has a right to protest and have a negative opinion and whatever, like I've always said. But the difference was that the person said, well, who did you vote for? And he said, oh, I didn't vote. And it was just like, I did like a full-on face palm at that moment. Like, you're whining about the results of an election that you had no part in. You might as well not even be a citizen of that country, you know? Because, like, I don't feel like I have any right to really complain either way. Because I'm not a citizen of the United States. You know, it has nothing to do with me. So yeah, that's sort of the way that it goes. But when you have the ability and you don't use that ability, that's on you, you know? But I don't really know how else that really relates either to like other things other than politics. Like I can't say in esports like a moment where someone just does not try and then complains that they lost. Well, I guess that is exactly what that would be like. Is if you had a guy who was like, you know, world poker champion, okay? Let's give that example. Guy's amazing at poker, plays it all the time, he's really good at it, bluffs a lot, knows the cards, knows the numbers, knows what to do, and he's victor for it. And then he goes into a competition, or there's this competition being held, and he signs up for it, and then he just doesn't try. He like goes in and he like shows everyone his cards and, you know, throws them on the table and says, don't care. And then when he loses and, you know, his biggest rival wins the championship, he goes out of his way to complain about it. Like that's what it would be like. And I can't stand that mentality at all. Not at all. All right, let's get to this island here. Oh, this is bringing back memories of when we explored the end in the last season of TimeShot. Very scary to be walking on these paths, because these paths that we make get filled up with Endermen pretty quickly, and if you don't have a pumpkin on your head, like I don't right now, it can be kind of scary. I'm out of blocks already. Ooh, there's so many Endermen here. Which sort of indicates to me that we're not going to find what I wanted to find, which is, of course, an end city. Might have to go further that way. I completely underestimated the amount of blocks that we needed, of course. I'm not going to spend the time digging them up right now. Yeah, I better just get out of here and prepare myself a little bit better. Maybe bring a pumpkin, get the no blur texture pack so that I'm a little bit more comfortable in here walking with all these Endermen. Oh boy, that's a little dicey. But yeah, that's the kind of talk I wanted to have, and I'm interested to see your comments about it. Remember that the comment jam is coming up. Just to see, not so much about politics. Again, try to keep it neutral. But like I was starting to say, is that I really respect and appreciate the people who were saying, like, let's work for humanity. Who cares what political party you're affiliated with? You know, we should be voting for a person and the ideals that we believe in, regardless of who they are or what the party is, or, you know, so on and so forth. And the same goes for any situations. Like I was saying, whether it's a video game and you're being competitive, or in sports, or in school, or what have you. You know, you should be able to roll with the punches, and when you win, you know, don't make the other people feel miserable either. Oh, I just looked at that guy, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's be safe. Yeah, that's something that I didn't really talk about too much, but there is the two sides of it, where if you've won a victory, you know, don't start boasting and bragging and making people feel bad just because you won. I know you have the ability and the right, and you certainly should feel good about winning in anything. Maybe you did good on a test, and your friend didn't or something. Oops, where am I going? You know, maybe you know, your team won a game. It's no reason to go and make the other team feel like crap. There's just no reason for it. You won, and now the emotions that they're feeling are those frustrated, tough, difficult feelings. So you know that they're feeling those emotions. Don't make it worse by being a terrible winner. By making them feel like they're worthless, like making them feel like they're bad. And maybe that's your opinion, that they are terrible and bad. But really, to be a good human being and to have compassion, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be like that. So I'm pleading to both sides of this election and to the people watching in general who are in any kind of a competitive nature, whether it's esports or real sports or, whatever. To just think about it a little bit. Maybe it's something that you don't think about a lot and you've been acting a certain way and you don't realize it. Is just think about it for a bit. Maybe you have some room for improvement. Maybe you should be more gracious. Because here's the thing. When I see those people, like I was saying, when I saw that one person in that one game be very kind, even though he had lost, I gained respect for that person. And maybe they did lose. But at the end of the day, the person I respected the most wasn't the person who won. The person I respected the most was the person who lost the best. You know what I mean? So maybe keep that in mind. And with that, we'll be ending this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I got a lot of building to do on TimeShot now. I went to the end. I'm not ready for the end. Okay, I'd love to keep going. I didn't have enough blocks. I don't have a pumpkin on my head. I was getting very nervous. I don't even have a diamond sword. I have a durability 14 iron sword. Might as well chuck it now. Who cares? I'm not ready. And I gotta build this thing still. I went to start building that. But I don't remember how I had built the ovals. I have to look at some pictures again. And then from there, we also decided that I was going to put the train station down on the other side here. Right over down there. So that's going to be exciting. I'm going to have to make some kind of a pathway from down here that goes like up somehow to the rest of this city. Gotta do that. My last stream was a TimeShot stream where I built a little bit. I built this bridge up here. So that's at least done. But I got way more building to do. Anyway, that's it for now. And we'll be seeing you guys next time on TimeShot. Bye-bye.